What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're comparing the A6400 versus the A6500. Now the A6400 was released while I was shooting this video today in 2019, and the A6500 was released in 2016. But the A6500 is still more expensive. It's actually $1,200 right now, and the A6400 just released is $900. So let's see what the differences are and see which one is right for you. Coming up. Alright guys, so I made myself a little list here, or it's not that little actually, about all the new specs the A6400's got and what it doesn't have. So let's start from the top. So the new A6400 looks almost identical to all the A60000 series. I don't know what you call that. This is the A6000. I'm shooting on the A6500 right now, but it looks basically like this, a little thicker, has a little bit more of a handle in front, so it's a little bit more stable to hold. But they didn't really update the design. Now, they did update the processor. They added a, here, let me see what it's called. It's like a Bion's X, I don't know how you say it, processor, which will probably just make the camera way faster and maybe do some cool new like imaging tricks to get better quality a little bit maybe. Stuff like that. It should, I'm not quite sure about this, but I'm pretty sure it has the exact same sensor as the A6500. So just your standard 24.2 megapixel CMOS camera sensor. So all the same there. Shouldn't really see too much a difference in image quality, if any at all. An advantage the A6400 has is it can do 8 frames per second burst in photo mode in silent shooting. So the A6500 cannot do bursts, or it can only do low bursts in silent shooting. They both do 11 frames per second shooting in any mode. So that's cool. Shutter is same as on the A60000, 1/4000th of a second. So same shutter speed. It has more autofocus points, and with that new processor, it's improved the eye autofocus tracking. It can, in new software updates, I believe, it'll even be able to track animal eyes. So that's a pretty cool new feature. It has 850 autofocus points compared to the 594 on the A6500. It also has a boosted ISO, so you can boost the ISO a little bit higher on the A6400. You can go from 100 to 32,000, and on the A6500, which is lower, you can go from 100 to 25,600. So you're getting a little boost in ISO, but you don't want to boost it that high anyway, so that doesn't really matter. It is a little bit lighter, so the A6400 is 403 grams, while the A6500 is 453 grams. So a slight difference there, but you're probably not going to notice it, especially with the big heavy lens on it. Next up is the battery life. Now, the A6400 say has a little bit longer battery life. They claim it can do 410 shots before the battery is dead. And the A6500, they claim can do 350 shots before it dies. So a little bit of a boost there in battery life. Same battery, so not too much of a difference there, but maybe a little bit more extra battery will save the day one day. Anyway, a big feature of the A6400, a big new feature the new camera has is it has a 180-degree tilting touchscreen. So a huge complaint on Sony cameras is that they do not add a flip screen so you can see yourself while they're holding the camera. So like for vloggers, they want to see themselves. For some reason, in a bunch of Sony cameras, they don't have that, but now they finally have put it in their A6400, which is awesome. Good job, Sony. Only issue, the Hotshoe mount is also where the screen pops up, so if you put a mic on the Hotshoe, you're going to cover up the screen, which defeats the purpose of having a flip-up screen. So you'll have to put the mic either somewhere else on the camera, or use the internal microphones, which probably aren't too bad, but not as good as some mics you can put on top. They also added an intervalometer to the A6400, which is nice. New software, like I said before, and it continuously tracks your eye now, so you don't have to hold down, like on the A6500, you don't have to push halfway on the shutter to track eye focus points. So it does that automatically without you having to do that. No limited shooting, so the A6400 will not turn off after 29 minutes of shooting. There is a hack on the A6500 which you can do to exterminate that, but on this one it comes standard, and maybe they improved some of the internals so it doesn't overheat as fast. I hope so. They added an interval timer for better time-lapse features and stuff like that. You can get apps and stuff for that onto your A6500, so you can kind of fix that on the A6500 like that, but it is nice that it comes standard now on the A6400. Now the downsides that the A64 doesn't have. This is a huge one. It has no in-body stabilization. So if you want stabilized footage, you're gonna have to use a lens with stabilization in it, which makes the lens more expensive. And when you have stabilization in the camera, you have two stabilizations, so it makes it even smoother. So you're gonna have to give that away for the A6400. You're also gonna have to give up some of the customizable buttons. So on the A6400, there is only 2 customizable buttons, while on the A6500 there is 3. Now customizable buttons are super useful if you really take full advantage of your camera. If not, it's not such big of a deal. You're also losing the 2 things on top of the A6500, which are the custom modes. So you have the 1 and 2 custom modes, which allow you to add like different picture profiles and settings onto that mode. So like what I do is I add like my shutter speed and my ISO and my picture profiles and all those settings that I want in that one custom section. So whenever I go to number 1 on that, it automatically goes to all those features that I want on there, and you don't have to set it all up. And on my number 2, I have like a slow-mo set option, so it instantly goes to 120p, all that. Oh yeah, and the A6400 and A6500 have the same video capabilities, so 4K Ultra HD at 30 frames per second at the highest, I believe. So that is all the same. So those are the 2 things you're mostly giving up for the A6400, not including the few $100s more it is. So in conclusion, the A6500 and the A6400 have basically the same quality. The A6400 is a little bit faster, but it does not have image stabilization. It doesn't have all those custom buttons. It does have the SNQ mode on the dial right on top, and the A6500 you have to manually go into that with some other button pressing to get to that. But honestly, I like the custom thingies better than the SNQ thing. But if you're a vlogger, I would probably go with the A6400, and if you already have the A6500, definitely don't upgrade. There's advantages in the A6500 that I feel like kind of kill off the advantages of the A6400. It's a hard decision. They're so close and so far in some... It's hard to explain, but some features you really want, you can have in both cameras, and you wish to kind of just smush the 2 cameras together, but they didn't. So it's your choice. It all depends on what you want in the camera. So guys, I think that wraps up the video. I hope you can make a good decision. Links in the description for both cameras if you want to buy one, and their affiliate links will kindly help me out. Please like and subscribe, and share this video with people that are debating on this decision. And I'll see you guys in the next video.